glow-in-the-dark hook baits.
What would old Dick Walker have said about that?
I don't know really, Joe. I think he'd have probably had a few in his box though, because he was quite an advanced thinker, wasn't he? I sort of go through phases where I'll give them a go, and then think, why didn't I use them more? You know, I've used them a lot in the colder temperatures, trying to draw attention to your hook bait and that. You know, I've done well then. What I found, I'll be dead honest, I found that they work on some places and other places they don't.
Strange that, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know if you found that.
I've only played around with them a little bit, yeah.
But where they do work, they're brilliant.
That's the thing, I mean, I know you are a thinking angler, and I think that's one of the main keys to successful angling, is playing about with different bits and bobs, isn't it? And one day something will work, and another day it won't. And as you said, and another water as well. One water things will work, one water they won't. So.
Well, the thing is, Joe, if you've got a group of anglers on a water and they're all doing fairly similar things, you're going to get the similar results to the rest. If you're lucky, you might shine a little bit, or you just become one of those. So what's always helped me in my angling is to use the thought process to come up with something that might just trigger something special, and then I'll get some mileage out of that, and then move on to something else, you know. And with the glow-in-the-dark thing, the idea was there in my head, and I thought, people used isotopes in the past on the rig and had success with it, and I knew about that, and I've tried that and caught fish on it. And over beds of hemp and stuff, we used to use a little tiny one, you know. And it worked. So I thought, why not just do the corn in the glow-in-the-dark? So I spoke to Chris about it. I didn't have the confidence to use it by itself. Shall I use it on every rod? So I thought, no, I'll do a comparison. So I was fishing on Oxlease, and I caught a couple of fish there. And that gave me the confidence to try it properly on every rod. So I went with Crowe to do a feature. It was a winter feature, and we went on St John's, and Crowe was there the day before us, and I looked at the weather forecast and I thought, oh my God, it's terrible. It was -6. Roy Parsons says to me, the bailiff, Frank, what are you doing here? He says, it's the coldest place in the UK at the moment. He says, you must be insane. And I says, well, we've got to do the feature. And he says, it'll freeze on you. But it didn't. The easterly kept it off. And Crowe was there, and he'd had nothing, but he was using maggots, because, you know, we'd had some success using maggots. So I'd taken maggots as well, so I thought, right, I'll use 3 rods. I'll use a bunch of maggots on one, a piece of the glow-in-the-dark with maggots with it, and just maggots. So it was like just a piece of corn, a combination, and then just maggots. So we settled in for the night. I spotted a load of maggots out, and I had to shut the door on the bivvy, it was that cold. I had the burner on, and I nodded off early like you do, and I heard of one toner, and I thought, must be Crowe's, because he was established in his swim and the maggots had gone in for 2 nights running. Come out, it was mine. And then my eyes popped out, I thought, hang on, it's the one with just the corn on, the glow-in-the-dark corn. You know, total surprise, I had 6 that night.
Did you?
Yeah, and mostly 20s. And I was shocked by it, I'll be honest. I ended up taking the one with just the maggots on and putting it on that. I was charging it up, and it was absolutely freezing. We've got photos of the fish as well, with all the bivvies froze solid. And Crowe was shaking his head, saying, I've never seen out like that. And I says, look, I'll be honest, I says, I'm not going to tell Chris about this. I want to just keep it to myself for a year. And I said, don't tell anybody about this, just say we caught on maggots or something, Crowe. He went, oh, I've got to write about this. And we had a big argument about it, and in the end, I said, look, I've got to be fair, I suppose, and do it. But I'll be honest, I want to keep it all to myself. Because I was that excited by it, you know.
There's a couple of lads on the local lake to me as well when they first come out, just fishing sort of 1.5 zigs with that on, just one after the other.
I know, it's weird. On the big fish that died recently, Benson, that came out 2 or 3 times in the winter with the boilies just fished on zigs by themselves. Not tipping a bait or anything, it was just by itself, a glow-in-the-dark job, you know. Half depth of the water or less, and that was just rattling off in the dark.
Amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I do like tipping baits with like a barrel, like you would with a piece of corn, plastic. Yeah. It's well worth trying these, and you've got the maggots as well.
I noticed them, didn't they? So there's 2 different colours as well, isn't there? You've got like a neon green and a neon blue. And you get the torch with one of the packs, don't you?
Yeah,
or you can buy it separately.
Yeah, you can buy it separately, or you can get it in the pack. But what I do is I hold it and turn it on. You can get it out individually, spin the corn round and hold it in front of it. It gives it a charge. If you've not got one of these, you can just leave them out in the sun in your tackle box or in the daylight, and they absorb light. The colder the water is, the more charge you need, by the way.
Right.
When the water's warm, for some reason, you get a better charge. I think it's just that whatever's in there reacts with the warmth. The other thing is, you know, I told you about I like dipping and sterilising all my hook baits with boiling water. Well, I noticed when I was doing it in the dark, as soon as I put these in boiling water, it went woof and lights up. So the hot water and the boiling water gives it another burst of energy.
Right, that's interesting.
So that's worth knowing as well, you know.
Yeah.
But this little torch is brilliant. It really gives it a good charge. Or you can put it in front of a camera flash, just flash the camera once, and that gives it a good hit as well.
And how long would that last for then, do you reckon, roughly? Like I say, it depends on the water.
Well, this ultraviolet light gives it a really strong charge, more than sunlight, because it gives it a concentrated charge. So this is the best way of charging.
Right.
Or else if you just leave it on a bivvy table or something like this, say you leave it out 8 hours in the sun or in daylight, you'll probably get 5 or 6 hours back, 7 hours. Even if it's more understated, the glow, it still works.
Right.
And I'll tell you something else that was weird, and I don't know, I can't explain this. I got a load of guys, when they first tried this, was saying that they caught a lot in the daylight as well. So you're thinking, well, how can that be? But don't forget, in certain waters that are deep, it's dark down there, it's murky.
Yeah.
So it's still giving off light. We wouldn't appreciate it, but the fish can find it in daylight as well, where the water's coloured or murky, because they see in a different spectrum to us, so whatever it is, they're seeing this. So it's not just a night tactic, it's for day as well. And that's something I found out by accident, and some of the other guys have. So that's worth bearing in mind as well, you know.
Definitely.
There's the boilies also.
You've got them in different sizes with the little holes in so you can balance them out as well.
Yeah, again, you can cut them in half as well if you just want to tip a boilie in them, or a barrel, you know.
The complete range. Well, I'll definitely be giving it another go. So it's only something I've played around with in France when I used to work out there.
Yeah.
With zigs at night.
Yeah, but, you know, it's one of the things that's easy to overlook, but it's always worth including in your tackle box. And then if you're going through a lean spell, just get it out and give it a fair go, because a lot of people just put it on one rod for a few hours and oh no, it's not worked. But try it on every rod and give it a fair crack on a few different waters, and then you can make an assessment. But you will get fish on it, definitely. You know, I believe in it, and you know, I do use it quite a lot.